All right. I think we're live. I think we're live, maybe. Let's see if anyone else thinks we're live. Is there anybody else in the chat? Usually I have somebody like 20 minutes early saying first or something. I know this was kind of a last minute stream. Hopefully some people were able to tune in. If not, that's okay. As always, my videos will go up onto my YouTube channel as VODs. Excellent. We've got a couple of people. Soul Collector and Null Pixel are in. Good to see you both. It's been a while, obviously. We also got Lelouch Zuref and Kilo Kilo 6Z Kilo Lima is also here. Thank you all for joining me. It's been a while. I've been super busy. I don't remember the last time our stream, and you probably don't either because it's been so long. But let's see. I went off to Sands 2018, which was held in Orlando. My Net Wars team, we won the Cyber Defense Net Wars, which was super cool. We got that rad Game of Thrones coin. If you guys haven't seen this, Sands Cyber Defense Net Wars coin. So this Cyber Defense Net Wars is pretty new. It hasn't been going for very long. This is the coin. It looks amazing in real life. If you haven't done Cyber Defense Net Wars, I highly recommend you do it. It's sort of like a network forensic slash blue team dissecting a breach and several breaches actually, and understanding what's going on. It's not a forensics coin. I hesitate to even call it network forensics, but it was a lot of fun, and I highly recommend that everyone does it. It's a great game that they put on for everyone, and coming from the Net Wars core side, it was a lot of fun and kind of refreshing, a new type of game. So here's the coin. I got to tell you, it looks great. This is like overly green balanced, maybe. It looks a lot more blue than this. I don't know why this looks so green. But this is what it looks like in real life. So, anyways, I did that. I've been busy at work, all kinds of stuff, but we're back. I have some machines to do. I've been super busy on Hack the Box because they introduced Fortress and Endgame. Now, Fortress you can do right off the bat if you're VIP. I don't know if non-VIPs can do it right off the bat, but if you're VIP, you can do it right off the bat. It looks super cool. I'm very excited. But what really excites me is these end games, which are supposed to be like 2 or 3 box challenges where you have to exploit some stuff and then pivot and then exploit some more stuff. You have to be guru to do it. And as many of my followers know, I haven't actually been working on my Hack the Box rank because I mostly just do things as they expire or as they retire, and then I do a video on it, and then I move on. So I'm like a regular hacker or something, I think. Yeah, I'm a regular hacker. I'm almost pro hacker because I've been working like crazy on this. I think I was like here last week. But once I found out that with Endgame you have to be guru, I started getting crazy. So I'm working on Aragog right now. Canape, Olympus, Valentine, so-so. But Canape was amazing. Olympus was mostly amazing. Highly recommend you do those boxes. Aragog also a lot of fun. Tonight we're doing Bashed. And I have this window up, not to brag that I did it 4 months ago, but to show that I did it 4 months ago. I haven't looked at it since, and then I blew away the box that had all my notes on it. So I'm not doing this completely fresh, but if I pause for a minute and go, wait, what the hell is going on here? This might be a little more fresh than you're used to seeing on my stream. So I'll struggle through it if you struggle through it, and hopefully we can have a good time and learn some stuff. So as usual, I'm going to bring up, oh my God, Olympus. We're going to make a bashed directory so that we have a place to actually, yeah, so that we have a place to store our files and output tools and stuff like that. As always, I'm using tmux. I get this question every video. I'm using tmux. IPSEC has an amazing tmux video, so I'm not going to go over the uses of tmux tonight, but that's what I'm using, and I'll do all kinds of like crazy, like, multiplexing on all that stuff. It's phenomenal. What I will do, because I have an interesting Tmux, I'm getting asked to make my font bigger, so let's see if I can do that. There we go. How's that, Soul Collector? If you can read that, that's good. The other thing is that I am streaming in 1080p, so maybe YouTube is defaulted to 480 or 760 or something. If you have the ability, the bandwidth to bump that up to 1080, that should help as well. But yeah, so Tmux has IPsec has a great Tmux video. I'm going to make a video as well because I have a slightly different Tmux config than him. So I do things a little bit differently. So I'll probably make my own eventually. But to get started, his is crazy good. So we have a bashed directory here, and we're going to go ahead and check out what the bashed IP address is, and that's 10.10.10.680. So we'll go ahead and nmap, and we do the -p for this, and we'll do this, and I call this full TCP. Why not? And just to make this go a little bit faster, we'll do like a T4. We're not going to do a full T5, but we'll do a T4 just to make it speed up a little bit. Again, I'm on VIP, so I can get away with stressing these boxes a little bit more. If you're on the free version, I wouldn't ramp up your throughput. So doing T4 and nmap, or using the T flag in GoBuster or anything like that, try not to DOS the boxes if you're in a heavy network for Hack the Box. But I'm on VIP3 US, and I think there's 5 users total. So chances are Bashed is not getting wrecked right now. Go ahead and hit enter there. Now, if I recall correctly, this is a web box. So we're going to open up Burp Community there. This is the newer version of Burp Community. If you, it's not an apt update / apt upgrade, but if you go to the Burp Suite or the Portswigger website, you can download the newer version of Community Edition. Also, if you fire up Burp, you'll get the, oh, do you want to upgrade? That's why my icon looks a little bit different than everybody else's. But that's it. Really, for functionality purposes, the majority of the stuff we do on these streams are proxy and repeater stuff. You're not going to notice any differences really from using the default Kali version. So you'll have to excuse me. Since I've been cranking through Hack the Box boxes, I've mostly been using my 4K monitor. So all the getting everything the way I want it hasn't really been set up for 1080. That's fine. If I recall correctly, this is a web box for a little bit. So we'll go ahead and kick this up. So if you recall, we have our Foxy proxy set up, and we have a Hack the Box Foxy proxy rule. So this just says that anything 10.10.10 whatever is going to get shoved through our 127.0.0.1 port 80 proxy, which is our Burp Suite, because that's how we do Hack the Box. So we'll do 10.10.10.68, which is bashed. And if you notice, we get, oh my god, a ton of stuff comes through our proxy. Let's take a look at the website. I notice a lot of times, and this happens when I'm teaching or taking a class or whatever, what I see a lot of people do is they're on a web app assessment, and they like curl it, and then they throw Nikto at it, and they WP scan if it's a WordPress site or whatever, but they throw a bunch of tools at it, and they just start, curling, looking for LFI or all of this crazy shit. And that's great. I mean, you want to be a super lead hacksaw, and you want to, do everything command line or just start jumping into exploits. That's awesome. I get it. Sometimes you just want to take a look at how the website works, right? So just visit the website. You don't have to start shoving things into repeater immediately. Just kind of click around and see what's going on. So these are all the social media stuff. Which is great. Here's, his menu, which is fine. If you notice, PHP Bash helps a lot with pen testing. Have it on multiple different servers, and it's always very useful. Cool. Let's take a look. So PHP Bash helps a lot with pen testing, blah, blah, blah. And if you look, he's actually telling us, like, we can go to GitHub and download the source. We could do a source code analysis. That'd be pretty rad. You know, that's neat. Surely if we don't find some instant wins, then maybe we want to go take a look at that. But if you notice, he's got this screenshot here that's telling us, like, well, if you just go here and then uploads phpbash.php, maybe you've got something. So we can immediately just try that. Let's try that. Uploads slash phpbash.php. And it didn't find anything. Okay, cool. What about not uploads? And nothing. Fine. Oop. Okay. And again, it's been a while, so I'm not leading you down a false path because I'm tricking you or trying, like, I know the answer and I'm just moving. I actually don't remember this. So at some point, we're going to get this on the site. So let's go back to index. And maybe we just click this. Oh. Both of these just send us to single.php. Load more entries isn't a thing. Cool. PHP bash. Okay, so what we're also going to do is, because we've got some time, we're still waiting on our nmap scan. Wow, this is saying 13 minutes. Ugh. Okay, while that's happening, we're also going to do some GoBuster stuff. If you haven't set up Ghostbuster, or I'm sorry, not Ghostbuster. Who are you going to call? GoBuster. I want to show you some stuff. So when you set up Go, you do two things. So in Kali, you can apt install Go. Golang, I think, is the apt package. Or you can on Linux, or I'm sorry, Mac, brew install Golang and all that stuff. But you set up a thing called GoPath, which is usually your home directory /Go, which is fine. So let's go into root Go. I'll show you some cool stuff. When you want to install a Go package, when you want to install a Go package, let's say GoBuster, because that's the one we're talking about. If it has a GitHub, which most Go packages do, because it's kind of built around this, you can find its GitHub address, and you grab this bit, not the HTTPS :// but github.com and forward, and then you can actually go get and then just put in the URL, and it'll actually go out. It's sort of like apt. It'll go out, it'll download the packages for you, it'll look through its dependencies and get those as well, and kind of iterate through everything. And what you end up with is this bin and source directory. So if we go into source, github.com, and there's OJ, and if you saw the URL up here, you'll see OJ. So this looks familiar to you. GoBuster, and here's the source for GoBuster. If you go back, you see there's a Satori and HashiCorp, which are dependencies for GoBuster. Great. If you see golang.org, that's also dependency stuff. Fine, you know. But what I'm getting at here is that it downloads all the source dependencies for you. We'll go into bin, and it actually compiles GoBuster for me. So what I had done, and the reason that I can just write GoBuster and then tab, or go B and tab, is that ILNS home go bin GoBuster is the source, the place that I'm linking to, and then I usually do like user local bin, and then I type GoBuster, and if I tab, you can see it's already there. But that's how I get GoBuster set up for myself, and I have scripts that set all that up for me now. But yeah, we're gonna HTTP bash again, and we're gonna GoBuster URL is HTTP 10.10.10.68. We're going to force a slash at the end because sometimes, we've got Apache configurations that don't necessarily apply a slash or don't immediately append a slash after going like here. This is technically like this. You notice it resolves to the same thing. Being able to resolve GoBuster without the slash on the end is actually just an Apache configuration or Nginx or whatever your HTTP server is. But so we're going to use the F command, which actually forces that slash just in case they haven't set it up correctly. We will use an extension of PHP because we know it's a .php from this. And then we will, let's see, we'll use a wordless user share, wordless. In Kali, it's user share wordless. And then we've got a dirbuster. And the one I really like is the lowercase medium. The medium's good, but 9 times out of 10, everything you're looking for is lowercase. So you just cut down on what you're looking for. And then we'll output that to bashed.gobuster. We'll just kind of start cooking along. So we got an images, we can check that out if we want. Cool. Yeah, Ajax document loader. Yeah, that looks real good. So there is an uploads. There's a PHP. There's a sendmail.php. Interesting. We might have to use that for our Previsk maybe. Hey, Redtail, welcome to the stream. So if we look back here, remember in his article, it was uploads PHP bash. So uploads looks interesting. Nope. What about dev? I see a dev there. Ah, here we go. Boom, PHP bash, sweet. So we can literally just kind of look around. Who are we running as? We're running as dub. Cancel that, that's all we need. All right. So let's take a look at, we'll cat etc password. And we see an Araxel, that's probably our user. He's the one that created the utility and created the challenge. So he's probably our user. Can we cd home Araxel? We can cat user already. So I can cat the user. You can cat the user. I generally don't post flags on the channel, so you can cat the user if you want. If you've gotten this far, great. It also kind of looks like Araxel can sudo, which would be interesting if we were him. We're not him, nor do we, or her. We're not Araxel, so, and we don't know their password, so this isn't as useful to us right now. But maybe we can do something funky with it. This is weird having the pound sign. Do we have? Let's see. Root. So we cat etc password. Oh, damn it. Dub. No, you're okay. I think this might be a misnomer, but let's. Interesting. It doesn't show us dev null, or I'm sorry, it doesn't show us standard error. So let's try this. What if we there isn't one. Okay. We will do this then. I always forget the exact syntax on this, so we will look it up. But basically, we can shovel bash through a dev TCP, and it can actually be a lot less complex than that. There's a Sans pentest article that's also pretty good. Bash I dev TCP. If not, I can just try and suss it out real quick. Yeah, why not? Actually, maybe, now that I think about this, maybe this doesn't have this capability. We'll see. So if we bash C, bash I, there's a simpler way to do this, and I want to show you a simple way to do it, or at least a less confusing way than we just saw up there. If I recall, it's just something as simple, like it's like this, but you can zero and do that. That's implied if you redirect that way. Damn it! Should have looked this up ahead of time. The way I did this originally, I think, if I remember correctly, is that because this is just a bash prompt, I generated a interpreter payload and then wgetted it, and then like executed it, and I just got a interpreter payload. But let's try. Stone Presto asked about the pentester monkey bash -I. Let's check it out. Yes, that's literally it. So let's do this. So we'll do this, and I am Oop. Ton 0 is 14.6. So we're going to do 10, 14, excuse me, .6. And so what's happening here is that we're basically redirecting the input and the output through this socket. If you're not familiar with this, let's put it this way. If you're not familiar with Linux, in that everything in Linux is a file, this is going to learn you real good. Basically, everything in Linux is a file. Hard drives are a file, network connections are a file, processes are a file, memories are a file. They're all represented by files on the file system. So in Linux, you can actually go into the device file system, that's what dev is, and then you can start drilling down into this. So there's the TCP protocol, there's your IP address, and then the port. And if you're familiar with networking, an IP address plus a port is a socket. So let's see if this will actually work. And the other thing to know here is that the ability to do this is actually a kernel option, like compilation option. So it might not be compiled into this operating system, but we'll give it a shot. Nope, didn't work. what if we nc help? And we don't see a minus e. So here's what we'll do. I know I get a lot of requests not to use Metasploit at all, and the reason for that is the OCP. I usually thought that Meterpreter was okay, but evidently recent changes to the OSCP, you can't use Meterpreter either, which I think is crazy. It's also weird that you can't use Metasploit at all, because Metasploit's like really useful. What we will do, though, is we'll use Metasploit just as a handler. Yeah, you can also NC without E, but that's a similar thing that we do. Oh, we could do the make node thing. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see if we can pull up an article to show you what we're about to do. So NC make node Here we go. So this is generally the way we do it. If you can't minus E, you can do some other stuff. And so one of the ways to do it is this. So what's happening here is that you're making basically a named pipe. It's as opposed to doing it the other way that we did it, this file way, we actually make a file that's meant for two-way communication, basically. So we're going to do this. I highly recommend that you read this article if you haven't seen various ways to bypass not having netcat minus E. And then what this is doing is that it's just shoveling SH, or you can use bash if you want. It's shoveling SH through the backpipe. And then also shoveling that through netcat. Let's see if we can explain that a little better as it happens. So what's going to happen is that we're going to shovel bin SH. We're going to redirect the... It's a little mind bending. So we're going to redirect the standard input of the backpipe we're going to redirect the standard input of bin sh, and we're actually going to change this to bash because I like bash better. We're going to redirect the standard input of bash through we're going to redirect bash. How do I explain this? We're going to take the backpipe. This gets mind-bending. We're going to take the stuff that comes through backpipe. We're going to redirect it in the standard input for bash. We could actually remove this if we wanted because it's implied when you're doing it this way. But because we're directing into input, we actually Linux knows to bypass this for a minute because it's like, well, you're going to redirect into input. That's crazy. You don't have anything to redirect into input. So it moves on to the pipe. And we're going to NC, we're going to connect to 14.6 on port 80, and the output, the standard out of that connection. Oh, cool. We did all that just to find out that 80 was open. Neat. We're going to redirect the standard output of that into backpipe. And if we remembered, backpipe is a thing that we were already interacting with. So it's going to take this standard out into backpipe. It's going to traverse back to here, and then it's going to say whatever came through here is going to be redirected into standard input for bash. Make sense? Hopefully so, because this is mind-bending. This is crazy, crazy stuff. I would highly recommend reading this article because it helps a little bit. Also, there are two SANS classes that go over this for like an hour or so, and that's SANS 560 and 504. Both go over this kind of pivoting. Let's see if this works. Oh. NC NLVP 80. So I'm listening on 80. This guy's supposed to connect on 80. Hey, and we can see here, because we have the V flag set, we actually get notified when somebody connects to us. So we can run ID, we're data, with www data, which is cool. Right now we're in this thing. If we do like sudo -l, wow, that happened fast. Cool. Right now we're in a non-interactive shell. So if we had to like su, it gets mad at us. Wait. Okay, good. Like if we su, it can't do anything. It can't su because we're in a non-interactive shell. So we're going to do something cool. We're going to do some magical incantations. We're going to use some Python, and just to make sure we have Python, we're going to use Python. We're going to use the -c, which is basically just run this Python one-liner, pty, or we're going to import the pty module, which is basically the Python terminal module. And we're going to use that to spawn a tty shell of bin bash. Interesting. We got a couple of people, Stone Presto and Soul Collector, hadn't seen that particular make node bin bash, or the bash shenanigans that we've put up to. Again, I highly recommend check out this article, the netcat without -e, no problem. It was written by Ed Scotus. There's some newer articles, but this is an outstanding article, and it really helps you get around the fact that -e isn't compiled into netcat outside of like CTFs. It shows you a little bit about your redirecting and stuff like that. It's a great article, and really 560 and 504 go very heavily. For some reason we can't get the PTY to go. I'm not sure it matters because it looks like sudo doesn't even need it. Let's see, where are we? If we cd script tab, yeah, it doesn't know that. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go. So if you notice, sudo -l, we can run as script manager anything with no password. So if script manager can run something, we can run something, even though we're not script manager. So if we look in the root directory, we can see that scripts is owned by script manager. Oop. Scripts. Wait. What's going on here? We have some, I think it was missing the PTY. I don't think I was missing the PTY. So if we Python c import pty.spawn bin bash, I think we're in a, oh, here we go. Maybe I was. So here's a cool thing about tmux. Even though I wouldn't be able to scroll up normally with the stuff that's going on, I can Control B and then open square bracket and just kind of page up. Import, oh, you're right. I didn't import PTY. I literally just typed import and then PTY spawn. Cool. Stone Presto got me. You got me, bro. So here we are. We're at a thing. We should be able to cd scripts manager. cd scripts manager. Wait, what? Oh, cd scripts permission denied. Let's see, if we sudo u script manager ls scripts. Okay. All right. Hey, MS1, what's going on here? So as you can see here, we can run anything we want as script manager. We couldn't read scripts because that's owned by Oop. It's actually owned by scripts. We should be able to read it though. If we just lsl scripts. Oh yeah, we can. We can't read these because they're likely owned by script manager, and we can't read them if you look like at these. But so as script manager, we can read them. So we sudo and then -u. So let's do a -help. As u, we can set the user that we do things as. Now, most people think that sudo stands for super user do. You can most people say that sudo is super user do or something like that, but it's really switch user then do is what it kind of stands for, is su do, switch user do. So when you do sudo, you can do a sudo -u, and then we can set a user, so script manager, and then we'll just do our command like normal, scripts, and then that's when we get stuff that's going on here. Now we can read root, so and we should be able to do this no matter what, because we have anyone can read these. So what if we cat scripts test.py? Nope. Interesting. Cat scripts test.txt. Nope. Okay. So we'll have to do the sudo do, or sudo u script manager, and then we'll cat scripts. Oh, I mistyped that last one, but that's fine. It's not going to work. Script / test.py. So there's a thing here. So we're going to write testing. And if we sudo u script manager cat scripts.test.txt, I believe we'll see testing 1, 2, 3. Cool. What is likely happening here? What happens if we... So what's happening here likely, if we see there's a script manager script, this is owned by script manager in the script manager group, there's a script here that opens a file and writes testing 1, 2, 3 into it. Cool, fine. But then we see that test.txt, the file that's opened, being opened and written to by root. So what is probably happening here? Root is probably either running test.py specifically, or running every Python script in scripts, or maybe something else that we haven't identified. So let's try this. We can do a sudo echo or sudo u script manager. So we're going to test the first one, or we're going to test the second one. Let's assume that maybe script or root is coming through and running everything that's in /scripts. Soul Collector says, since you use sudo, it's write it as root. No. So what we just said here is that since we sudo is not super user do, it's actually switch user do. And we're sudo -u, so we're running everything as script manager for this. And then all we're doing is running cat scripts test.py. So we're not actually even running the test.py. We're just catting it, right? So we could actually do that. You're right. We could do as script manager, we could run script manager or test.py. So scripts / test.py. And we get a permission denied on test.txt because it's owned by root. Like this script literally cannot overwrite test.txt, which is fine. But the thing I'm trying to get across here is that sudo does not mean root. Sudo just means that you want to do something as a different user. Just like su doesn't mean to switch to root, it means switch user. So you can switch u like a script manager. So instead of running running all of our commands like sudo u script manager, we could probably do this. Can we do that? Nope. Oh, I had messed that up. So if we sudo u script manager, su script manager, nope. Okay, it doesn't like us doing that. Okay, but anyway, so sudo is just switch user, and in fact, if we sudo help, will it tell us? Yeah, it's just a sudo execute a command as another user, and you can see, there's the -u user field there is all. So we're going to sudo script manager, and we're going to echo e bin bash n echo foo Yeah, we're not actually able to run that. Or we're not actually able to do that. Sudo u script manager. So let's sudo elegant. Sudo u script manager vim scripts scripts manager vi scripts foo sh. Unknown terminal type. Let's see. I kind of messed that up probably. So what happens is, if you noticed, here, I would run LSAL scripts, and you can see it echo again LSAL scripts. So what I did was I Control Z'd out of the netcat command, and basically backgrounding the current current process, and then I did an stty raw minus echo. What that does is that it removes the echo, and no longer is my input being echoed both to the remote shell and my local shell. And so if you notice, I can do pw and then tab, and it's like, oh, did you mean these commands? Whereas before I didn't have tab. It was great. It's great. So if I can do, let's see, cd/de, and then I'll tab, and then I got tab complete. It's phenomenal. I have up, down, all the command history and everything. If you would like more information on that, let me, let's see. It's like NC upgrade magic, I think is a way to do it. Nope. Here we go, RobNop. So this, I'm going to post this in the chat, and then I'll also post it in the notes, the comment section of the stream. But this is phenomenal. You can do the original thing that I did, where you do the Python. Where is it? Blah, blah, blah. You can do the Python upgrade that I did earlier, which is great. You can get the command prompts like I got and a little bit more control, a little bit of job control and whatnot, which is useful. You can do it with SoCat as well. Fine. You can also upgrade it to basically a full, like a full terminal, a full TTY. Which is just so good. Having the tab and being able to control C out of things, which is also phenomenal. Like if you run a ping, has anybody ever ran a ping? They're like, wait, can I even get to my host anymore? This is weird. And you're running a ping and you're like, oh shit, Linux just pings forever. You can actually control C out of that. And if you noticed, I didn't control C out of my shell, out of the remote shell, which you often do. So this walks you through everything. Now, this does more than what I did. This is the step I did. You can actually get more by doing the export shell blah and export shell blah. And then you can do stuff like clear. Like I don't think it'll do a clear. Yeah, see how it says environment variable not set. So you can go further and get like clear and everything else you need. But this is about as much as I need. And we should be able to sudo u scripts manager VI. No, come on. Okay. So if we VI scripts foo.sh sudo u scripts manager VI scripts foo.sh. And bash, and we'll echo foobar into bar foo. So then we'll sudo u scripts manager ls scripts. And so now we see the foo.sh, right? And if we run this, we can do a watch n5 sudo u scripts manager ls scripts. So what this is doing is that we're going to run a command every 5 seconds, and this is the command we're going to run. Oh no, because I don't have the terminal. If we export term, whoop. Yeah, that's what happens when you control shift, control C. No, error opening terminal. Oh, because I need to know the everything else. So if we do this, so I'm going to control Z again. Oh no, the control Z isn't going to work because I can't actually back out of this anymore. My original terminal isn't. So what we can do is this. We're going to stty minus a. If you notice, we've got the rows and columns now, and the things we needed was stty rows and columns. tty rows 38, cool. columns 130. Nah, it still won't work. Lame. So if script manager is only writing into the file, what executed is root? Soul Collector, that's a perfectly good question, and that's exactly what we're trying to prove by writing that foo.sh file, is that I assume that root will run it, and hopefully we should get that bar foo file in the scripts directory owned as root, and that's what it'll tell us. And it says, it was my first box 2 months ago, so I can't remember what it was. Me too. I mean, it's been ages. So we'll sudo u scripts manager ls scripts. Oh my god. Sudo u script manager ls scripts. And what we should do is sudo -u script manager chmod plus x scripts foo.sh, because right now it's not like even runnable. Scripts manager ls minus al scripts. So we have a executable foo.sh. We have an executable test.python and a test.txt. What this says to me right now is that likely it's not coming through and just executing everything. Likely it's coming through and running Python on things. Because if it just came through in /test.py, test.py is not executable. The only way this is going to run if it's running Python test.py. So let's do something similar. So if we're going to sudo u scripts manager test.py, we'll cat test scripts test.py, and we're just gonna like literally copy all this stuff, and we'll sudo let's actually do this just to make it a little easier, because we got VI and stuff, but it's going to be a pain. So we'll open, pay no mind to the canopy. But seriously, if you guys haven't done canopy, it's a little harder than this, but it's a great box. We'll do 3, 2, 1 instead. So we'll do this. We'll do sudo u scripts manager vi scripts foo.py. So if we sudo u script manager lsal scripts. Okay, so we now see a foo.py that's running exactly, or that it has the exact same permissions as a test.py. So we should see a foobar.txt open up as opposed to a test.txt in a little bit. And if you noticed, we have a foobar.txt and it's running as root. So what we see here, and this is, oh my god, it's Brandon Forbes. What you can see here is that what happens is root actually threw a cron job as, let's see who mentioned it. Yeah, as Soul Collector mentioned, there's a cron job that basically tells root to come in here every couple minutes, or every minute or so, and run Python space whatever Python scripts are in here. And so we have a foo.py that ended up in a foobar.txt, and then we have a test.py that ended up in a test.txt. So we can now create our own Python script that will grant us access to this box. We can do it in a number of ways. We can have root we can have a Python script that will add our SSH key to root's SSH key to their known hosts, so we can just SSH in We can have a Python script that opens up a reverse shell to us, which would be useful if we can't reach SSH because of firewall reasons. We can have it put a user information into Etsy password and or Etsy shadow. For people who are not familiar with this, you can still log in if you have login information in Etsy password. You just need a password defined. You cat Etsy password. You notice that there's X in the second field in everything here. That basically means that the password is not located here. Sorry, Mario, but the princess is located in another castle. It basically means that you should go looking for the password in Etsy shadow. You can put a password hash here, and you can log in using the Etsy password like that. Generally, you can't SSH using that password, but you can SU to it if you want. The other thing you can do, because it's hack the box and not actually a pen test, or I mean, sometimes pen tests need this too, but we can actually just have it cat root/root .txt if we want. So similarly, if there's a flag or proof file that exists on a pen test, you can, read that out. Most pen tests don't and shouldn't really require a full shell to prove successful. Just having the ability to read specific files that you need is often good enough. And often that's the way a lot of breaches work. So how are we going to do this? I'm going to write a Python file that will a Python script that will add me to the Etsy password file that will allow me to SU to my own user that has root privileges. I'm going to do this because I would gather that quite a few of you probably haven't logged in through Etsy password before or using an Etsy password. Modern Linuxes don't do this. However, most Internet of Things, most IoT devices do not run modern Linuxes. There's a lot of reasons that they don't want to. Often has to do with power. The more system calls they make, the more power they use, and the battery life goes down. So you will find if you extract firmware from IoT devices that a lot of IoT devices have hard-coded passwords in their Etsy password files for this very specific reason, that power reason. So we're going to exploit that this time, just to kind of show you how it's done and what you can do. So if we run OpenSSL help, you can see that there's a password command that you can use. And Sweating 0 Days says lots of devices have shit security, print Fs and string copies like it's 1990, like the 90s. So the reason for that, as I mentioned before, is not necessarily because they're lazy, and a lot of times it is. I mean, they could do better security, but a lot of times it's for power reasons. If they're using modern, like kernel-based security protections, that's more system calls. Memory protection is more system calls to look at a function and then go in and verify that it's what it's supposed to do. That's 2 or 3 or 5 system calls where before there was only one. And if you're making 5 times the system calls, then you're using roughly 4 or 5 times the power. So that's why it happens. It's not for no reason. It's not for great reasons, but it's not for no reason. So anyways, OpenSSL has this password thing, so we're gonna OpenSSL password and -1, which is gonna give us an MD5 style password, and it's gonna ask us for a password, and we're gonna put foobar, and we're gonna verify foobar, and that gives us this. So we are going to have this script. We're gonna open Etsy password through append for an append, and we're going to start writing this. We're going to write rook. There's my password. If you recall, there's a That's where the X usually is for saying that there's no password there. The next thing here is the user ID. So we want us to be a root user, so we're going to give us the user ID of 0, the group ID of 0. The next thing after that is some sort of user description. We don't actually care about that. We'll put rook because that's our user description. Rook was here, kind of deface the SE password, if you will. The next field, all these fields are separated by colons if you're following along. The next field is our home directory, so we'll go ahead and set our home directory to the root home directory because we're root, or will be. And then we'll set our login shell. And so when you log in as script manager, you get bin bash. When you log in as Erexel, you get bin bash. If you log in as UUIDD, you get bin false. What does that mean? It means they can't log in. They're not supposed to log in. All of these are effectively service accounts. Now, I don't actually know the difference, the technical difference between bin false and user sbin no login. I look it up occasionally when it matters, but oftentimes it doesn't matter. Effectively, practically, this is the same. They're not able to log in either through SU or regular logins or SSH or anything like that. They're not able to run an interactive login. That's what that means. Bonus points, go ahead and look up, and I probably will too, but go ahead and look up the difference between no login and bin false and put it in the comments for me so we can all kind of learn together. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead and put bin bash because, we're regular human beings in 2018. And this is our script. We're going to file open SE password for append, and we're going to append this line, which again is, here's my username, here's our password, which is just foobar. We're going to come in as root and the root group ID. Here's my little description because, I'm funny and stuff. Here's my home directory, and here's my login prompt, or my login shell. So we will sudo u script manager is the user we want to do. And then we're going to vi scripts rootme.py. And we'll hit I to insert. We will paste our rad script in there. We will WQ to write, and we will sudo u scripts manager cat scripts. Oops, not cat manager lsal scripts. Let's see the date. 2032. And so 2032 happened, but we're 28 seconds in. Maybe we didn't quite hit it yet. So when this clicks over to 2033 or later, we know that we succeeded. Oh, we're not quite to 2033 yet. Sweating O'Day says proper coding. Yes. Like I said, there are better ways to do it. I'm not giving the IoT vendors a pass. The whole hard coding passwords and then not letting us change them, or like putting in backdoors and not letting us know about those accounts, like that's all bad. Like they don't do across the board. There are some IoT vendors that do, but across the board they don't do a great job, and I'm not giving them a pass on that. But it is a folly in security to assume that everyone is just gross negligence. There are reasons that they do what they do, and understanding those reasons help us reason with them to show them the proper way to do things. If we know why they're doing that, if we know that they're doing it for power reasons, then we can adapt our mitigations, our proposed remediations to help them achieve their goal and be secure at the same time. But just like screaming at them saying, you don't do things securely, you have to do things securely, they're going to say, well, I need power. And then we have to go back to the drawing board and come back with a better solution. Meanwhile, we've already lost reputation with them. So knowing why they do things ahead of time and coming with them up front, if we come correct with the correct things up front, that's helpful and that's useful to them. And we're better at our jobs. All right, so it's been a couple minutes. Let's see if our stuff has changed. Our stuff has changed. Let's see. Shil Yazid. Hopefully I pronounced that right. If I pronounce it wrong, please correct me. I would love to pronounce it correctly. When sben no login is set as a shell, if the user with that shell logs in, they'll get a message. Bin false is just a binary that immediately exits. Got it. The message is in etc no login. Good to know. That's outstanding. Thank you for looking that up for me, and we all kind of learned something here. I wonder if we can. I'll look this up later, but I wonder if you can set up sben no login to like run a script. Like here's your you're not supposed to log in and quit kind of thing. Or maybe it does. Maybe it does do that. You get a message and then quits. Anyways, so this has executed. We should see my username and etc password. You can see it here. Whoop. Oh no, it's running multiple times. Oh god. Oh no. Can we do this? I wonder if it... No. Oh no. This is a terrible idea. Sudo... sudo... let's see. U script manager rm scripts rootme.py. Okay, how do we fix this? We get this is terrible. We can fix this, and we'll learn by fixing it. So we can do two ways. We can just like pull the entire thing and just overwrite it with the thing we want, which would be terrible. Or we can use sed to just grep like rook and replace it with what we want. I think that's a better way to do it. Time to make a new etc password with one user. This guy's trolling hard. For those of you who don't know Brandon Forbes, troll him hard too. But that'd be a very destructive thing to do. Let's use sed. Sed is harder though. We can use Python's replace. So we'll let's see, find replace. So that's fine. Can it do like regex? Let's see, Python regex find string replace. Kilo 6Z Kilo Lima says iterate through every record in dedupe. You clarified that that's a joke, but that was my initial reaction, and I think it would be a lot of people's initial reaction too. The problem is that this is not technically a duplicated line. This is it. If I would have done a control or a slash in at the end of it, which I should have done like this. If I would have done that, that would have helped, because then I would have just gotten multiple instances of this. It would have just been this line over and over and over again, and that would work out. That like having multiple instances in a etc password, the last one takes precedence. So that would have been okay. I just effed up because I'm dumb. So I didn't include that. That would have made this work. It would have like put 50 lines of this in there, which we don't actually want. But you know, whatever. This is Hack the Box, so we're okay doing weird stuff sometimes. So let's see. Oh my god, this is getting crazy. Does fixed replacements are re.sub. Ooh, let's see here. I could just reset the box. Yeah, I mean, we could just reset the box. We could do a bunch of other stuff. Like I said, I could just I could write a Python script to do anything we wanted, right? Every minute is not appending anymore because we deleted it. So if we just cat etsy password again, there will yeah, it hasn't grown any because I deleted it, as I should have done before. If I wasn't busy doing something else, if I wasn't busy like doing other stuff, talking to you guys and whatnot, we wouldn't have had this problem. Stone Presto says write a Python script to fix the file. That's exactly what we're working on. So we're going to do that here. So what we can do is what we can do is actually write a thing to delete the last line and then write a new one. And what that will do is it doesn't matter how many times this runs, it will always delete the last line and write a new one, which is great as long as we're the only one editing the file, right? But for now, I think that'll be good enough. So we'll just do Python delete last line of file. Lucas, yeah, the sed will work. I'm trying to do this in pure Python. We could import like OS and then do that. The cron job isn't running bash scripts, so we have to do it entirely in Python. So we could import like OS, do the sed, and it'd be groovy. But since it runs Python, we're going to try and do it in pure Python. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. Brandon says just delete the and rewrite the last line. That is what I was talking about doing. Is just have it like above this, just delete the last line. I just don't know how to have it delete the last line. Like I'm not sure about that. We would have to probably do this, and then if we read everything in, like what happens if we read everything in? If we do something like f dot, it was actually this guy that was saying it, right? Nope. Nope. Let's see. So if we do like new file or new lines equals f dot read, was it read lines? Yeah, dot read lines. Then we do new lines equal New lines, colon -1. Yep. Can we do like new lines add or something like that? Ali, practicing HTTP is a great way to practice for the OSCP. Depending on your skill level, it is easy or not. I wouldn't listen to Sweating O Days, depending on your expertise. When I took the OSCP, I was not versed in a lot of this stuff. The OSCP is a great way to practice, but really the best way to learn the skills you need is by going through the PDF. And then you can practice in the PWK lab and also in HTTP. But depending on which HTTP boxes you're doing. If you're doing the hard HTTP boxes, I think those are more difficult than the PWK labs. If you're doing the easy HTTP boxes, then maybe those like OSCP is more difficult. It's been a couple years, but it really depends on how far along you are and how good you are at self-studying. So if we do like, right, can we do like new lines and then that? Like, I think that should work, yeah? I mean, that's hacky as hell, but let's give it a shot. The PWK exam is similar to the labs. Or yeah, we can also new lines push and then new lines write. F write new lines if we wanted. Is push to the front or the back? What is okay? It's append, not push. So we can do dot append. Yeah, let's try that. So if we do new lines, we'll put this here. How can you read lines if you open the file for W? I think writing it for W just means that you overwrite when you write to it, right? Okay, hold on. Let's look up the open file. Let's look up the docs because, you know, Python has great docs. But yeah, I think you can read lines. Is it RW? Is that what you're getting at? Oh, I see. I think you can still read lines, can't you? R plus, hold on. Okay, let's try the RW. Let's just give it a shot. We're in experimenting mood today. Sudo u scripts manager. So we want a vi scripts root me.py. Okay, R plus is what we're looking for. Let's just confirm that because you seem pretty positive. R plus opens the file for both reading and writing. Okay, that is what we're looking for. You're right. Excellent. See, read the docs. That's a thing. Wait, I thought rootme. Oh, I removed rootme.py. So sudo u script manager. I'm gonna lsal scripts date. Oh man, I think we just missed that. If we cat, let's see, password. Yeah. So we're waiting for about 30 seconds for this to come through. Man, this has been a long this has been a long stream for a little box, but that's the point of these streams, is to experiment a little, learn a little, get out of our comfort zones, you know. Yeah, so there's some discussion in the chat between which writing or which open mode we would use. If it's RW, R plus, there's a bunch of different ones and they all behave a little differently. Check out the documentation to find explicitly what each one does. But let's see. So if we date, we should be here. If we look, everything has been updated. So if we cat etc password, this is where everything's broken. Oh my god, what happened? Why? No. How is this happening? That's what we're gonna do. We're going to move, or we're going to copy etc password to etc password.back. I'm going to vi rootme.py. And we're going to vi etc password. And we're going to python rootme.py. There's a problem there. Expected string or other character buffer. Maybe we need to do a for I. That's exactly what we needed to do. Okay, cool. So this is the script we need. And that this script is just failing when we run it. Whoops. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, now we're waiting another 30 seconds. Let's catch up on the chat here. All right, bizarre situation. Do a starts with and replace. Yep, we could have done that. There's a little new line at the end. Deleting the last line only skips the new line. Yep, I think it's literally just a problem with the. I think it was a problem with the way we were doing it. So let's. Etsy password. Hey, there we go. That looks like what it's supposed to be. Cool. So we can, let's see if we su rook foo bar. No, what happened? Wait, what? Why is it so mad? It shouldn't be mad. Cannot execute. Bin blah, 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 blah. But that's not there. Let's see. Is it because there's a slash there? No, I have the slash n. All that should be there. Yeah, it does seem like it's cached. Lucas is saying that it seems like it's cached, and it does seem like it's cached. It shouldn't be cached, though. It's not generally the way that Etsy password works. Oh, you're right. Oh, it's appending it. Oh God, it's appending it over and over and over again. Oh no, 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 no! Stop it. Sudo. Oh my God. Script. Oh no, this is the worst. Stone Presto was right. It's just doing it over and over and over again. Oh God, it's so ugly. Cool. Wow, we royally messed this one up. Here's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to take the easy way out. We're going to start at here. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. We're going to do this. Sudo u. Now we're just going to be mean because this has gone on way too long. Scripts root me.py. Oop. Oh, right. So we're going to import OS. We're going to say a equals, or we'll call it password equals oh my God. So you can tell very easily that I don't generally work in VI. I generally work in Vim. We're going to do an os.system echo. I wonder if this will work. Yeah, maybe. Format. Password. Oh man, we're gonna know if it works real quick. This is where everything goes like nuclear, right? So cat etsy password. Hey, no, it didn't work. Yeah, I think it might be to the point where we just need to start from scratch. Let's do this. I'm just going to test it real quick on our local box. Oh my god, why is this so long? I'm just going to make this smaller real quick so it's easier to copy and paste. Oh man. Oh no. I know why it's so long, because I screwed up the script. That's why it's important to test on your own boxes first. Oh my gosh. What is happening here? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Just because, you know what, I'm kind of sick of this. We're going to. I'm definitely going to reset this box after I'm done, because holy crap, we screwed this one up. But we're going to sudo u script manager vi scripts rootme.py. I'm actually going to do this. Oop. Oop. Yeah, Soul Collector says if it was me, I would have pressed reset a long time ago, and that's absolutely true. And I would have as well. That's not what this is about, though. This is about struggling through stuff and exploring new opportunities and options. So we're gonna Also, flag equals open root.txt. And we're just going to open that for read. And we're going to oh man, I probably should have I don't know if it would make it read. Let's find out. So what that should do is it should open up the root.txt and open up temp rootme or something, and then write the contents of root.txt into rootme. Which it didn't do. I'm an idiot. Cool. I wrote that. I opened rootme as read because that's useful when you're trying to do stuff like this. Oh, did I hit that like right on time? And that's empty. You can see right here that there's 0 bytes, so I don't know why I'm trying to freaking... Oh my god. Yeah, it's absolutely empty. So we... So I open rootme, blah, I read this, I read, do flags.readlines. Should have to close the other file to flush the buffer. Do you? I don't know if that's actually true. I mean, it's good habits for sure. But I want to preface this with, I am not a Python programmer. I've also had several cocktails. I didn't disclose that to you earlier. I probably should have. But whatever. Let's see here. Almost there. I can feel it. We're close. For those of you still with me, I'm amazed because this has gone on way too long. Like an hour and 40 minutes for the stream. That's a new record for Bashed, I'm pretty sure. Whoop. Fingers were off there. Okay. So lsal temp. Come on, stuff there. Nope. All right, let's do some local testing again. Expected a string or other character buffer. Let's see. Okay, so why does that not work? String or other character buffer object. It's multiple lines. Oh yeah, so there's a strip maybe? Is it just dot strip? It is dot strip. Wait, what? Oh. Huh. Yeah, turns out you need to balance your parentheses. Object has no attribute strip? Oh, it's a list. Brandon, coming to the rescue. Hey, cool. Hey, okay. We're gonna get this, I swear. And then, yeah, we're going to, we're gonna revert the hell out of this box. I feel bad for anybody that may be trying to do it right now. Hopefully they're not. It's a good part about being VIP is that not a lot of people try your stuff. God awful things have been done to this box. That's the beauty of hacking, really. $52. There's 8 seconds, and we're totally going to be done with this forever, right? Unless now I've just wiped root.txt off the face of the map. Stone Presto says, what I was saying earlier, you had to iterate through each line written. You could have done that again. Saying earlier is you had iterated through each line and written. You could have done that again. Oh, when I was rewriting the Etsy password, I was iterating through each line that I read and wrote everything. And I wonder, like, what it didn't do was, what it was doing is it was appending and not overwriting. And I believe that's because I was doing RW and not like W. I believe. I've ran into that in the past. Anyways, let's LSAL temp. RootMe has stuff in it, and I can read it. Oh my god. I'm gonna cat it anyways. I know I don't usually show flags on here, but this is old, so. Ah, there's a flag! I feel so freaking happy. Anyways, okay. We're gonna exit out of all this stuff now, because there's a flag on the screen, and I don't generally like doing that. But also, we're going to reset the hell out of this box because Jesus, this 4 box has been through enough. Has been through enough. Bashed. Yeah, we're gonna reboot that. Yeah, that was a long time. That's not how long it took me to normally root the box. I don't think it's how long it would have taken anybody to root that box. I think we were all aware about an hour ago we could have rooted the box if we wanted to. We went through a long ass rabbit hole just to see what happened. And that's that's the fun part of my stream, is watching me do useless shit that that I don't really have to do. It was the Etsy password rabbit hole. Yeah, it really was. And so to be fair, I used that exact, very close to that method to root a currently live box. So it is something that happens. It's just because it was running that cron job every minute, and I was distracted when it happened. We ended up like effing ourselves royally. But again, if I hadn't have missed the /n on the end of it, that actually would have worked fine. It would have just been a really spammy Etsy password box. Wushu Lord wants to know if I'm planning on doing any first time hacks. Probably not. I've done them in the past. Maybe I'll do a Vulnhub or something first time. But those take like all day. The thing is the way I do these hack the box or Vulnhubs or something, it's usually like my wife and I are watching TV and I spend like a couple days just dicking around on a box. And then I spend, 2 hours to present to you a 30-minent box. But anyways, like it takes me a long time to do these boxes, and so it's hard to just sit down for an entire day and hack away for you guys. I will attempt to do that. I'll try and find a box that we can, but it's just hard. I try and recount my thought process in the recap boxes, but maybe like on a long weekend. I think we have a 3-day weekend coming up or something. Maybe on a long weekend I can dedicate a whole day. But anyways, it was a pleasure. I hope everyone else had much more fun than I did, because God, that was just too long. But yeah, it was good, and it was good to stream for you all again. We'll see you hopefully sooner than a couple months. We'll get back on track now that I'm kind of more in a more stable, um, schedule now. Anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.